yourself a fucking favor and get the fuck out of my store. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck off the press.
One love, the voice. One love. Had your coffee this morning, y'all? You having coffee?
Hey, kid, get the fuck out of here.
Right now.
What up, Free? Top of the morning to y'all. Even though it's not the tip top, it's actually the bottom of the morning. It's almost midday where I am. But since it's the first time we've spoken, I'm going to say top of the morning to you. Surprised that I'm on this early again, you know. Kind of like old times, you know. Kind of bummed I really can't do the videos in the car like I used to, but that's okay. Gives me more time to think about shit when I'm by myself. Well, I'm by myself all the time, but gives me more time to think. It gives me more time to think about what I'm gonna talk about. Kind of gave me some time to think about what I'm gonna talk about right now, because I see a lot of youngins out here. Hell, I see some old people too. I'm sorry I didn't get a hold of y'all when y'all was younger, but you know, y'all done made it to old age and you can't tell y'all nothing now. But I'm gonna try to tell the young ones, you know. Like I said, I ain't got $1 million worth of game for you. But I got $1 billion worth of game for you. And I'm a Freedman, so I got $1 trillion worth of game for you. I'll let them other motherfuckers give you $1 million worth of game. They can give you $1 million worth of game. But don't nobody talk about millionaires no more. They only talk about billionaires. So y'all keep talking in millions. And we'll keep talking the billions. And as Freedmen, we need to be talking trillions. And nothing less. And before I get into my shit.
Hey, kid, get the fuck out of here.
Thank you. Even though this could be taught to a child, this very message could be taught to a child, children are not welcome to listen to my platform. I cuss too much. I smoke. It can sometimes get flat out vulgar in the chat room. And kids just don't need to be a part of that. And since Haps has allowed 12-year-olds on their platform, that's a problem with me. Don't let the Little Nas X hearts fool you. This ain't for play. Understand me. I don't want no kids on my plat. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. They ass should be in school anyway. Well, you got a lot of people doing virtual, so there's a lot of time to be on those social media platforms. So just in case they are in here.
Hey, kid, get the fuck out of here.
Thank you. But middle of the morning for a lot of us, you know, I've been thinking, just seeing a lot of these youngins out here going to get their first jobs, and like I said, there's some old people out here not really going to get their first jobs, but the way they go get jobs and how they get into employment situations, it's really fucked up. Because white supremacy has made black people work a certain way for a long time. I mean, globally, we work a certain way. We work that ain't the faint mentality. And until you realize the game and realize that, you know, yeah, you have a job to do and there's hours to do it in, but that's all you owe that employer. Some employers make you feel like you work for them 24 hours a day. And you don't. They don't pay you 24 hours a day. So how the fuck are you owing them 24 of your hours? You only get 24 hours in a day. So why the fuck you got to give them all 24 of your hours? Now, I know people be on call. I get that. I get you being on call and they give you a cell phone or a pager or something, you know. I get all that. But I'm not talking about that shit. I'm talking about from menial labor all the way up to an executive. If your job description calls for you to do a certain thing in the office, at the job site, this, that, and the other, and then you get off work, when you get off work, that's your time. Don't nobody have dominion over you on your time. But you get these employers, excuse me, you get these employers who think that you owe them not only the hours that they're paying you, and hopefully paying you well enough to be able to take care of your family, but they think they can hone in on the hours that they're not paying you. Boy, I had a couple employers, hourly employers. These are not people that I worked for when I was in the sales game, because that's a different beast. But I had some hourly employers call me when I was off work before. That didn't go well. Seeing that I was on my time and I wasn't on their time, I didn't give them no time. But everybody's not gonna do that. I get that. But you gotta understand, when an employer makes such a big deal about you punching in and you punching out and you punching in and you punching out, you know, you get your lunch break, you gotta punch in and out. You gotta punch in and out to come to work. You gotta punch in and out to leave work. When they make a big point about that, they do that for one reason. Not for your benefit, for theirs. Okay? Don't ever think that punching in and out is something that benefits you. It benefits the employer. Now, I know many employers or managers, whomever, they're going to tell you that punching in and out is how they pay you. No, motherfucker. Me being here doing the job that you can't do is how you pay me. That time clock just makes sure you ain't got to pay me 1 minute more than you're obligated to. You knew I was here. I did the work. The work wouldn't have got done. We wouldn't have got all this shit done. So don't play me like I wasn't here. That time clock ain't got shit to do with you getting paid. It's how they save money. If you come in at 8:03, I've had employers where if you came in 3 to 5 minutes late, just 3 to 5 minutes late, you on to the next hour. You had to be punched in before or within 3 to 5 minutes, or they went on to the next hour. Those places were funny to me. They were really tight, and they didn't last very long. And the money they were trying to save was just stupid, just on punching in and punching out, because my production had nothing to do with that. When I got to work, I never, ever start work right when I get there. I always like to survey the situation, see what's going on in the office, make sure ain't none of my coworkers walking around with bulges in their coats and shit, making this the last day of employment for everybody. Well, that sucks. Well, that sucks. Just found out some really disheartening news there. I've been trying to get to the property disposition over there on campus, and they are not open to the public. And I believe it has something to do with this pandemic. This shit is really fucking up a lot of natural things. Because going to property disposition is a natural thing. It became a natural thing. So, employers pay you, give you your work, this, that, and the other, but you don't owe them anything more than to do your job effectively. And anybody that tries to make you believe that you do owe them more than that, you need to find you another job. You need to find you another job. You know, I worked under that guy's years and years ago when an employer would walk in. I'm talking about the owner of the company. I ain't talking about no fucking manager, general man. I'm talking about the owner of the company. I dealt with a lot of owners of companies. You know, you make money for a motherfucker, he generally will come talk to you. So I dealt with a lot of people who ran companies. And I fell under that guise of when an employer would say, "You're like family, Shannon." Don't ever let a motherfucker say you're like family that you work for. Don't ever in your life let somebody say you're like family. That is bait. That's bait. Because if you're like family, you need to be on the trust fund. You need to be a beneficiary on the life insurance policies. You need an office. You don't need to have a cubicle. If I'm family, give me an office. But you got to understand the phraseology there. You're like family. They didn't say you were family. They say you're like family. And I had people say that to me, and I fell under that guise that I was like family. I never got my portfolio, my family portfolio. So where I thought I might have been closer to the throne, as it were, I wasn't. You like family when you helping to run that company. Not just work for the company, run the company. And I truly say you never work for anybody that won't hire you to run their company. I'm not saying you got to start off there, but you got to have at least the elevation potential. And some people don't have it. I get it. Everybody's not meant to have that corner office on the top level. You know, I'm thinking in theory. Everybody's not in a high rise, whatever. But everybody's not cut out to do that. Some people are just going to be on the ground workers. Some people may work up to a supervisory role, managerial role, but everybody's not cut out to be at the head of the food chain. I get that. But when somebody says that you're like family, they should have plans for you. They should have a track for you to be on so that if you like family, when the time meets, you say, hey, I've done this, I've done that. I think I deserve some upward mobility. And that's where you figure out whether you like family or you just another motherfucker. Because managerial roles and executive roles and things like that to go to family members generally go to people that don't have the capabilities of you. You can have more capabilities than the person telling you what to do. But if they got the same last name as the motherfucker who owns the business, okay. It is what it is. But let's just kind of start at the beginning, you know. I see too many people out here inappropriately dressed to go get a job. Hello, Debeth. Did I pronounce that correctly? I am totally not paying attention to the chat. Hello, Debeth. Hello, Sonia Voss. Thank you for the bomb. I don't know exactly what that is, but I appreciate it. As long as it's not nuclear. What up, Shell? So, we got a couple Spades games in here. I appreciate that. It's in the half space. Obviously, we're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. And I appreciate anybody liking and sharing these videos. Hopefully, Sister Riri sees this on Twitter and puts it in the space like she did last night. I thought that was special. When somebody shares your message, that means something. They can listen to it. They can come back to it. But when they send it out to their people, that's what I'm talking about, goddamn. I'm only one voice. But if you send this voice to those people, then there we go. That's how we can make change. So, people going into job interviews, and I'm skipping past the application process, but we'll come back to that because the application process is very, 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 very important. Applications, resumes, you do a lot of this stuff online now. And the red line's got to mean something to y'all. The red line has got to mean something to y'all. Y'all make posts on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all these different places. When that red line is under your words, woo, when that red line is under your words, that word is spelled wrong, man. Hold on. Hey. Give me 1 second, y'all. Doom, 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 doom. Give me 1 second and I can jump right back in. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. I thought I was coming right back, but then I thought I better knock that out so I didn't have to, impede once again. So let me get this going. But yeah, that application process we'll get back to. The dress code. I know dress codes have been casual or been made more casual. I feel that when you're going in to a job interview, I believe you need to look your best. I think you need to be dressed. I know they bait some people and they say, hey, you can just wear a polo and this, that, and the other. And then you get there and everybody else has got a jacket on. Don't take that bait. Wear clothes to a job interview. You may interview with the president of the company, and the president of the company comes in there with a suit on, and you sitting up there looking like you about to go hit 9 holes. As much as he loves golf, he might look at that as disrespect that you didn't take it upon yourself to put some real clothes on. And a lot of presidents of companies are older people, so they're more traditional. So even though things have changed a bit out here, they're still the same. You'll see a lot of these places, they'll go casual, this, that, and the other, but that president of that company is always in a suit. They always clean. So you need to think like the president, not the president of the United States, because he doesn't think. But think like the president, okay? Like, you have to. If you don't, you won't get the job. Let me just tell you. You won't get the job. Somebody else could get the job, but you ain't getting the job, okay? So understand that part. Your clothes should always be clean. I don't know why I have to tell anybody this, but I've seen people go to job interviews with clothes that they look like they just pulled out of the hamper. I don't know what that's about. I have no idea what that, I don't know. I mean, it's amazing to me that somebody would show up to a job interview with some wrinkled ass clothes. I mean, I get it. You're going to drive and you're going to get that little in the car seat wrinkle. You can press that out when you get out. When your shit looks like it was balled up and thrown against the wall, no. Don't go into a job like that. You're not going to get the job. You're actually trying not to work. That's what you're basically saying when you do that. You're trying not to work. And anybody that's dealing with you, like your mom, your spouse, your dad, whoever, if they let you go out looking like that, they get what they get. They already know you are not coming back with a job. That's the way it is. I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't even matter to me. You can say whatever you want to say. You are not coming back with a job looking like that. Period. So, I get it. So, okay, just letting you know. So, oh, yeah, that's the way that kind of works. Hold on one sec. Did I say, oh, wait a minute. I'm missing something. June Burton, what you doing in here? You here after 9? I love it. I love it. I love it. You said I got to do it between 9 and 10 or you can't be here. I get it. But you're here. Maybe you're on vacation. Maybe you are on vacation. What is that? So we'll take that down. But you should be most presentable Clothes should be clean, pressed. You know, the best thing in creation is the lint roller. Anybody goes into a job interview with lint on their clothes, once again, don't give anybody that's about to talk to you this. Let me get that for you, buddy. Let me get that for you. No, they're telling you that you're unkept. They're telling you that you didn't take the time to prepare. What you always need to do is always arrive at the job about 15 to 20 minutes before the interview so you can hit that bathroom. Do your thing outside, then go on into the bathroom. You should have a brief. Anyways, you should have a brief, something that you can carry, your brush in or comb, the lint roller, maybe even the cologne. Don't go in too heavy with the cologne because, you don't want to stifle people. But you should, if you need a little refresher, hit them, whatever. Behind the ears, whatever. Wherever you're going to end up kind of perspiring and shit, make sure that's able to come all out. Don't just spray cologne on your clothes. Your colognes should not just be sprayed on your clothes. Okay? It's a misnomer that smells good when you spray the shit on your clothes. It just sits there and creates stains. Anyway, so get there early, hit the bathroom, straighten yourself up. Make sure, take your jacket off, hanging over the back of the door. Make sure there's nothing on the back of your jacket. These are just small things that I know a lot of people don't think about, and they think they're probably useless things. They can be between you getting the job and not getting the job. Have you done a work for yourself in video, or will you? I just joined the self-employment game. I have not done. I've tried to stay away from entrepreneur type things unless I can get people to come on and give their ideologies too. I have a real one-track ideology was where entrepreneurship goes. And I know a lot of people want to say they want to be in business, but then once they talk to me, they never do it. Like I had somebody call me a couple weeks ago, real shit. I don't know what happened to the brother. And he told me about this idea that he had. And he was being very circumspect. Like, he didn't want to give me the idea. Like, I would take his idea and go bubble off of it. First and foremost, I don't even know you. So for you to call me, you know me, but I don't know you. So you know who the fuck I am, but I don't know who the fuck you are. So I would take your idea and go do something with it? Okay. Let's start over. Don't insult me, and let's move forward amicably. If I don't know you and you bring me an idea and say you need help with your idea, the last thing you should be worried about is if I take your idea and do something with it. Who you should be worried about is all them other motherfuckers you done told the idea to, and now they're trying to figure out how to manipulate behind you. Don't come to the motherfucker who you think can help you and think he's going to take your idea. Sorry. I've forgotten more ideas than most motherfuckers will ever have. Real shit. I had 3 ideas this morning and forgot them before I took a shit. Fuck out of here. So anyway, entrepreneurship, I love to talk about entrepreneurship, and I'd love to even speak with you, Sister Lisa. I'd like to talk with people who are jumping into entrepreneurship, because I'm one of those people that if you jump in, I'm going to ride with you as long as you're doing it the right way. Because if you start to sink, I want to help you before you sink. Now, if you just want to kind of teeter around some shit and play with it, and you want to be a business owner Monday through Wednesday, but then Thursday through Friday, you want to be an employee, and then Saturday and Sunday, you want some days off, you need some breaks, you need some time off, I can't fuck with you. You ain't ready to run a business. If you're not ready to work 7 fucking days, you're not ready to run a business. That's just what it is. Now, on the contrary, when you work for somebody, unless the job calls for you to work 7 days and you go in knowing that you're going to work 7 days, I don't believe anybody should be out here working for somebody for 7 days. Now, I understand auto workers and people that work in plants and different things like that, even health workers, healthcare workers. Sometimes you got to pull those shifts. I get it. But I don't believe anybody should be working for somebody else for 7 days, because if you're working for somebody else for 7 days, who's taking care of your kids? I'm talking about taking care of them. You might be taking care of them financially because you're working all this overtime, but who's really taking care of them? Who's nurturing them? You need that time with your kids. So don't ever get locked into working 7 days for another motherfucker, because I guarantee you, out of those 7 days, there's at least 2 days you don't see the boss, because the boss is off with his family. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the boss takes his days off. When it's time for the boss and his family to saddle up, when it's time for the boss and his family to saddle up, oh, they get saddled up. They gone. You ain't going to see the boss and his family. And you're not going to call them when they're away. Unless you don't want a job. So, get your breaks, get your day off, get your vacations. Just because you work for a place and it's not a year, doesn't mean you can't take a vacation too. I know I'm all over the place with this shit. We're going to get back to the dress code and then we're going to go right into the interview. Don't let nobody tell you can't take a vacation and you ain't been there a year. You just can't have a paid vacation. You can take a vacation anytime. Just get the time off approved. All right. So, can't wait. Let's definitely chop it up about that. I believe that people need to look more down this road where we are going in this country with this pandemic. I know everybody is not capable. Everybody doesn't have the resources. Everybody doesn't have the creative mind to try to do something for themselves. It takes a special individual to break their own buck. It does. It sounds good to everybody, but everybody can't do their own shit. I love the fact that anybody would think about it, though. Anybody would consider it, because we get knocked down a lot of times for wanting to go into business for ourselves. Oh, man, what you want to do that for? You got a good job. What the fuck is a good job? I mean, you could have good income. You could have a good view from your desk. But a good job, a person that tells you, don't do that because you have a good job, I guarantee you, they will die broke. They gonna die broke. If you're thinking about starting a business and you're trying to be convinced by someone else who says don't do it because you got a good job, I guarantee that individual will die broke. Science. Motherfucking science. Telling you, don't do it. Don't listen to anybody who got this much more than you. Just this much. And telling you, don't try to do better for yourself and your family. Don't listen to them people, man. Don't listen to them people, man. I'm trying to tell you. So, your dress code has to be tight. But let's go back a little bit. Prior to the interview, you had to apply for the job. Most jobs now, you can do applications online. I started talking about the red line, that red line. Okay? As freedmen, we know redlining to be one thing, but red line, when you filling out an application, means your word is spelled wrong. I don't know why y'all don't know that. Y'all make Facebook posts, make Instagram posts, Twitter posts. You know damn well that word is wrong when it's like that. Why you put your applications through and resumes through online and have them red lines all up under your shit? Now you got these people trying to play Morse code on your shit, trying to figure out what you saying because you didn't spell the words correctly, even though you were given a nudge. That red line means something. Why y'all act like that red line don't mean nothing? Kevin Vasquez. Good midday to you. That red line means something. I can tell you this. If you don't pay attention to the red line, you will be redlined outside the job. Thank you. There you go. There's some more redlining for your ass. The job will be right here, and the red line will be here, and you'll be over there. There you go. Just in case some kids have crept in this motherfucker.
Hey, kid, get the fuck out of here.
Just letting you know. Just letting you know. I don't need you around here. If you are under 18, I don't need you around here. I don't want you around here. You won't dwell in this space. Not here. Not with these grown folks.
Now do yourself a fucking favor and get the fuck out of my store. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck off the property.
So, that's the way I feel about it. I don't want minors around. I want minors to learn shit like this, but they got to learn it from their parents. Their parents got to put their gloves on, you know, and they got to give it to them the way they can give it to them. They can't give it the way I give it to them, you know. We only do one-on-one sessions like that. Some kids' parents say, hey, I want you to talk to my kid. I let them know right up front. This is the way I talk all the time. Now, I'll soften it up a little bit for the kid, right? But I'm absolutely not going to be on some fucking moist shit. Because when the kids get out into the world, ain't nothing moist about it. They going to catch it right in the face. They're going to think everybody's going to be nice to them. They're going to think everybody's going to LOL and LMAO with them. No, they're not. When you get out in the streets, you're a piece of shit. Okay? And then you've got to build yourself up to a formidable piece of shit. But that's what they think about you. Please don't get hemmed in to let nobody ever tell you, you're like family. Somebody says you're like family and they own the company, be like, where's my packet? I just need to know where I sign for all my benefits, you know, for being a part of the Lucky Sperm Club. Because that's the only way that you're family, if you're an actual member of the Lucky Sperm Club. Because the person who runs this place says you're like family, that means you're getting a piece of this joint when they sell it, or you're going to get elevated to be just like one of their family members. Don't let nobody tell you you family. You ain't family unless you family. Just saying, dog. Just saying. So, let me see what I got to get. So, going into a job, you have to know that you are going to want to do this job. So you're going to have maybe not a lot of knowledge about the job, but don't apply for a job that you don't even like what's going to be going on. Whether you have knowledge about the labor itself, like, don't apply at a pet store if you're afraid of dogs. Or don't apply at a pet store if you don't like furry creatures or don't like sticking your hand in fish tanks. Don't apply at a pet store if you don't like animals. And I see this a lot. People just apply at places that they don't even like the environment that they're going to be in, whether they have any knowledge about the job or not. That's fucking dumb. Excuse me. See how good the memory is. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Ah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Bam. All right. I'm on it. No worries if you're not close. I just need to get ready because I'm on a live and I'll shut this down and head out, period. Just let me know something in the next 10 or 15 as I'm going to wait for something else to come through, if need be, period. Peace. All right, couple things going. I might have to move around a little bit. Ain't no thing. It's what I do. It's what I'm good at. Lots of shit. Appreciate the people in the chat, chatting it up. Appreciate the people on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I think I got Twitch right again. I don't know. I still haven't gone on it. I don't even know why I say anything about it because I haven't gotten into the Twitch community the way I said I would, but it is what it is. I'll get there. I got a lot of shit to do. I'm busy. So. Uh-oh. Did I not take that off? Oh, let me take that off. Bam. You know what? I could actually do that. Yeah, okay. I can make that work. I'm gonna take care of this person here. Give me 1 second. So, knowing that your first impression only happens once. Only happens once. When you apply for that job, that is your first impression. Your first impression is not the job interview. Your first impression is your job application and/or your resume. That gives them a breakdown of who you are, who you've been, and who you might become. Their employee. Okay? Their employee. They may hire you. May not if your application is fucked up. Now, I know the application isn't the end-all be-all, but it's the first impression. So why would you want your first impression to be fucked up? Your first impression should be flawless. They should be just starving to meet you when you meet them. I'm trying to tell you. It should be flawless. Absolutely no grammatical errors. You should have somebody who knows how to proofread, who's good at resume shit, all that. Have them look at your shit, okay? Don't send a resume out without having at least 2 sets of eyes look at it. Because that one set of eyes might see what you see. You need that other set of eyes to see what both you possibly didn't see. So at least 2 sets of eyes. Absolutely have people look at your shit before you send it out. If you don't, it could cost you. So it should cost you a little to get that together, so it doesn't cost you a lot on the back end, okay? Telling you. Uh-oh. Why didn't I grab one of those? Have somebody look your shit over. Make sure all of your information is factual. I know back in the day you could say you worked here and worked there, but that shit don't really work no more. Okay? That shit don't really work no more. They got all this shit, this computer shit. They can tell if you worked there, when you worked there, who was the manager. Don't do it. Don't lie. Don't lie. Unless, well, I don't want to tell somebody to lie, but if you gon' lie, the lie better be truthful. And what I mean by that is, let's just say you worked there and you need to say that you worked there for a little longer than you really did. You know what I'm saying? You might need to say that you worked there for 2 years because you need 2 years of employment with a said company. And let's say that said company is no longer in business. That said company is out of business now. Okay? And you end up saying you worked there, and you worked there for, I don't know, 9 months. As long as you don't give some type of egregious job title that you had, and you can say you worked there for 2 years, go ahead and say that shit. Go ahead and say you worked there for 2 years. I don't have a problem with that. I'll be honest with you. Because you probably would have worked there for 2 years, like say if the business went under. You probably would have worked there for 2 years. And if you gained enough experience out of that job to where it can take you to whatever you're applying for right here? Absolutely. Don't go in there with no shit where you're going to be trying to answer questions that they asking you and you don't know the answers because you really didn't work that job the way you say you worked that job. So extending the time on your resume, that company went out of business, that ain't your fault. That ain't your fault. So it's kind of a lie, but it's not really a lie. But it is what it is. Is that 14 sets of eyes? Okay, half space. Okay, I got you. Half's on me moving. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that makes 5. Okay. And then I got bam, bam. Bam, all right. Rocking it. So I got to make a phone call real quick. And then it's all good. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back on you in a second. Sorry about that, guys. But y'all know what I'm doing, so it is what it is. Appreciate you free letting people know what the real is, what the deal is. But as I was saying, first impressions mean a lot. Your application, your resume, all that stuff's got to be tight. As a black man, as a freedman, I always prided myself in my handwriting, my grammar, spelling, all that stuff. All right. So I always tried to have a really, really decent resume. Now, those who know me know my name. I don't have a name of the quintessential black man. Okay. It is what it is. Some Irish man got it somebody in my family, and I ended up with an Irish last name. And then they go on and give me an Irish first name. Now, I've taken that blessing. It could have been a curse, but I've taken that blessing of getting that Irish name at birth, and I've used it to the best of my capabilities. Most definitely. Because when you hear the name Shannon McFall, you're probably not thinking of a motherfucker that looks like me. But that's okay. Because when you do see me, I changed that whole ideology about me anyway. But when they would see my resume and they would see my credentials and shit, I know they'd be like, oh, okay. Probably redhead, freckles, female. But no. Here I come in. And I know a few other black men, freedmen, whose name are Shannon. Not very many. Uh-oh. Oh, you know what? I did have this. I had this shit the first time. So I second-guessed myself because I didn't think the bag was turned over. I really had it. I really checked myself on my memory and shit. I do little certain things to make sure that my memory stays tight. Because I got to stay ahead of all the pimp, hustlers, thieves, preachers, and Frank Dodds. I got to stay ahead of all of them. All of them. They all trying to rob you. Pimps, hustlers, thieves, preachers, and Frank Dodds. They'll steal from you in a heartbeat. Somebody told me he coming into town. I wonder if he gonna have his veneers in. If he gonna have his veneers in, maybe I just take his teeth out of his mouth. I'd probably get about $1,500 for them. Take him down to the homeless shelter and shit. Somebody down there ain't got no teeth. I can take his veneers down there and get at least $1,500. I'll just parcel them out one tooth at a time. Y'all know I'll do that too. Alrighty. So that's ready to go when it's ready to go. Yes, we are back from the brief intermission. All right. I got something to tell y'all, but I can't tell you now because it's actually still in play. So it'll probably be on the other cast. Probably be on the other cast. Probably be on like the next cast. Won't be on this one because I can't do it while it's still in play. I don't want to compromise anybody, but it's some funny shit. It just lets me know where this world has come, and I love it. I fucking love it. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah. But you do the application, you do the resume, you get the interview. Clothes are right, dress code is right, this, that, and the other. You have to sit down and talk to somebody who's in a position that they're in for whatever reason. I don't know why this has become a thing, but I be listening to people when I probably shouldn't be, and I cringe at why it matters to somebody else what another man is doing. Like, I don't like his ass, he just because he's the supervisor. Like, wait a minute. You don't like him because he's a supervisor. That's his job, I mean, why don't you like him? Because you'd probably like him otherwise. If he wasn't telling you what to do, how to do your job, when to do your job, you'd probably like him. You don't like him because he's a supervisor, or you don't like him because he tells you what to do. Either way, it's fucked up ideology. And where does that come from? Somebody's always going to tell you what to fucking do. You better believe that. Everybody has a boss. Even bosses have bosses. Everybody has a boss. Everybody answers to somebody. But these young motherfuckers out here don't think they have to answer to anybody. Music, please. Oh, before I do that, I should probably do this because we're doing a lot of talking, and I just want to make sure that we're staying up on our shit, because if we don't stay up on our shit, that's when we'll get caught with our proverbial pants down.
Do yourself a fucking favor and get the fuck out of my store. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck off the property.
I just don't know what makes people think that they can send their kids into my chat, but if they're going to send their kids into my chat, that's what the fuck they're going to get. So, getting into a job interview, going into a job interview, you should know a couple things about the business. About the business. I'm not talking about sticking your nose in somebody's business. You should know about the business you are going to attempt to work at. Nowadays, it's real easy because you can look on a company's website and learn things about them. Then you can also go on, Indeed or something, where you can learn about things about that particular company. People leave reviews about that particular company. Learn shit about the company you're attempting to go get a job at. You better like what they do, and you better have some knowledge about what they do, or you're not going to get the job. I'm not here to sugarcoat shit today. I'm trying to tell you how to work the job game. That's what the heading said, right? The job game, how to work it. This is it. I don't give a fuck what you do. If you don't want to listen to me, there's like 13 podcasts I can see right now. Go listen to somebody else on YouTube. Listen to somebody else tell you some dumb shit that ain't going to work for you. I'm telling you what's going to work for you, because it's worked for so many others. Know something. Uh-oh. I must have been on for an hour. Was I on for an hour? Damn. That's a long time. We're going to start that bit back over. Hopefully we don't run this one out. Well, maybe if we do. We just talking, right? Yeah. Know something about the business. Know something about the people who started the company. How they started it, why they started it. Is it a first generation company? These are always good things to know. First generation company, second generation company. You want to know how long they've been around. You want to know if they're going to be around in a couple of years. Is there any upward mobility there? Now, if they're in a downslide, if it looks like the company might be shutting their doors, then, you still want to know some shit if that's what you plan to do, go get that job. But I don't want to work at no motherfucker that's going to be shut down soon. That's some dumb shit. That's some dumb shit. I remember a motherfucker told me he was going to get a job. He was going to get a job at Kmart. And I'm like, well, goddamn, ain't Kmart closing? What the fuck are you going to get a job at Kmart for? Kmart's about to be closed. Oops. We're going to do the moon rock in this one. Kmart's about to be closed. But you won't go get a job there. So you have no upward mobility. You don't know when they're going to close. But that's what you're going to go do. And the craziest shit, a temp agency gave him that job. I was like, well, I guess that's why they a temp agency. Because they can find you temporary employment. That's some dumb shit. And I just said, okay, you do what you got to do, bro. You go ahead and do what you got to do. But you went to a temp agency to get a job that's only temporary. And it ain't temporary because the 90 days is going to be up. It's temporary because the motherfucker's about to go out of business. Okay, make it fucking make sense. Make it make sense. Some people do some shit. They do some shit that amazes me. Like, it amazes me. It's not amazing. It's like amazingly stupid, but it amazes me. I don't know why people do it, but they do it. They do it till they're satisfied. Uh-oh, got it right on the back. Moving too fast, moving ahead of myself. Got it right on the bag. For those of you who do not normally check me out, I do a lot of shit when I'm casting a lot of times, so just bear with me. The message does get out. For those of you who do ride with me, you understand where I'm going with this. And you understand the boomerang effect of the message. We take it all the way out there, only to bring it all the way back home. So, I appreciate both sets of folk being here today. Okay? I appreciate both of you. I hope they don't miss the message. The message is crystal clear today. Like I already told you, we're not sugarcoating shit. Because I'm really trying to help somebody with this message. I try to help people with all the messages, but you know, some people don't think all the messages are helpful. But I can tell you this, they're definitely not harmful. I'm never going to give you a harmful message. Absolutely not. So what I'm doing right now is trying to, there we go, trying to break down to you why it's important for you to be only at the top of your game if you're going at a job, in for a job. You only can be at the top of your game. You should not go into a job opportunity if you are not at the top of your game. Just like if you are sick. Let me explain something to you. I've seen people do this shit, and I think it's some of the dumbest shit ever. If you are sick, you call that place, and now, if you're sick, they're not going to want you in there because you're automatically under protocol if you're sick now. They want to know, are you going to get a test and all that shit? Before you could just say, hey, I got a cold. I really wouldn't want to come in and, you know. And they say, can we reschedule? Now, if you get sick, they're like, call us back in 10 days once you got clearance. Chances are, within 10 days, they've already interviewed somebody once, possibly the second time. You're not going to get that job. So if you're not at the top of your game with all your other shit and your health, if you catch a cold near your interview date, you're done. That opportunity is gone. That job opportunity is finito. Finito. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not going to get the job. You're not going to get that second opportunity in an interview. Nothing. It's over. It's over. Because now you've got to go through the COVID protocols. And once you get through the COVID protocols and get your negative test, then get back with them there's going to be another stack of resumes that you got to get back on top of that they've already got in line to talk to. And unless your shit was super impressive, I'm talking about super duper impressive, you're not going to get a second opportunity. Your resume had to have stood out. Your credentials had to have stood out for them to reconsider after you had the opportunity. It was your turn to come up to bat, and I can't do it. Yeah, you've got to be ultra impressive for them to say, you know what, we're going to give them another shot. That all starts with your application, with your resume, with your credentials, your cover letter, all that shit. Your first impression. Your first impression could be your last impression. So get the shit right. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. If you don't understand anything that I tell you in these types of situations, it's from experience. It's from real life experience. I'm not doing any of this shit off of a whim, just a whimsical thought. I'm doing this shit because I've experienced it my goddamn self. I don't talk about shit that I haven't gone through. I don't throw pie in the sky. Fuck that shit. What up, though? I was being nice. I was hoping you was tardy with a purpose. So you about to take that one over there that I talked to you about? Yeah. You can't take this one right now. Okay. You have to take this at between 2:30 and 3. Uh-oh, we did get another one. Oh, man. Going the other way. Okay. So, we back. Everything I talk about, when I talk about it from experience, it probably doesn't sound like it could have happened. It didn't happen probably the way I'm saying it because it happened so long ago. Everything was way more granular then. Now, things happen so hyper fast. They happen so hyper fast. I know that you can be out of the game with a bad app, with a bad resume. You never even get to the interview. And one of the things that I always prided myself in was I was a good interview. I had a decent resume just based on my credentials. I wouldn't say I had the flashiest resume. One thing I did for years is I used the same material that they use to like print like degrees and diplomas and shit on. That was one of my hooks. Like, you know, motherfuckers would come in, you know, they come in with a resume that looks like this. You know, it's just some paper. My shit would be a thick paper and it had fucking hairs in it, you know, and it was some deep shit. And I had kind of a raised lettering on it. This is when I was really, you know, out there in that whole I gotta get at it job scene type shit. If I was really trying to impress somebody. Other than that, if I had to email somebody a resume, obviously they didn't get that. But then I brought that resume in with me and they'd be like, you know, interesting. Motherfucker has to take some time to get some shit like that. And they know that. same credentials as the paper resume that they've already marked up and called the references and all that shit. But now this motherfucker right here is different. And if that motherfucker sits there with that paper resume that he's marked all up with the references and everything on, and he's looking at that, and he's focusing only on who he talked to and my job experience and how good of an employee I was, how bad of an employee I was, I knew I wasn't getting the job. If he paid more attention to that fucking resume that I brought in, it's nice and clean, but it's got that frilly shit, I had his ass. Her ass. Whoever. It's the way it was. That's the way it was. That's the way I broke shit down, because I knew I had to be impressive in that interview, because I've already done fucked him up with the name. I come in here with this Irish girl name, and you're looking at a big black motherfucker like, oh my God, who is he? Is he an imposter? No. And then I talked about my name, talked about where I got my name from, this, that, and the other. You know, once the radio game had passed me, I talked about being the Irish cowboy. You know, a lot of motherfuckers didn't know I wasn't Irish until they met me. So, hey, I wasn't even a cowboy. But it was what it was. So, Sister Yvonne, how you doing today? Good afternoon. Yeah. Hey, yeah, I know I missed my chicken last night. Chicken is here now. We have Yardbird. Peace to my brother, JB. We have Yardbird today. And it's good Yardbird. I don't know if y'all been to this place. Is Westland? Westland, place called Gus's. Friedman owned. He got 3 locations? One in Detroit. Royal Oak. And West. He got one in Royal Oak? Look, Friedman got a business in Royal Oak. He doing good for himself. You don't just get a business in Royal Oak and be black with it. You can be a black immigrant, but you ain't gonna be black with it. So he got Gus's in Westland, Gus's in the city, Gus's in Royal Oak. This is some of the best chicken I've had in years. I'm trying to tell you. Tell your brother to get to Gus's, Yvonne. So, the job is going to be what the job is going to be. But what are you going to bring to that company? And when you sit down with that interviewer, it can't just be a nice textured resume. It can't just be credentials on the resume. What are you going to do? How are you going to answer their questions? I've seen people, I've walked into businesses and seen people sitting in job interviews like this. They didn't get the job. I guarantee it. If you sit in a job interview like this, you're not going to get the job. Period. Okay? Don't call back to see how things are going with your resume, because they're not. If you spent your job interview like this, you're not getting the gig. Okay? You're not getting the gig. You just showed them who you were for however many minutes. You could be clean. You could have your Easter Sundays. Actually, I didn't really clarify about that. I said y'all want y'all clean in these job interviews. Dress nicely. Dress properly. Pressed, whatnot. Don't wear your Easter suit to the job interview. I see that a lot too. A job interview is not the place for the canary yellow suit with the yellow gaiters and the yellow fedora with the lavender band. That's not the place for the job interview. Do not wear that fucking suit to a job interview, okay? That's for First and Second Missionary Baptist Apostolic Church on Easter Sunday. When you go to Pastor Do No Good's Easter Sunday program. Thank you. Don't wear that to a job interview. You're not getting the motherfucking job. Canary yellow ain't the flavor. Sorry. Now you got this fucking left. You want to make her wait? They say they don't hear anything. Whoever that anonymous Facebook user is, they can't see the chat free, so they can't see, you know. You might have to start venturing on the Facebook free and putting it in the Facebook chat, you know, for the 2-3 people that watch on Facebook and the lurkers too. I know there's lurkers on Facebook. They don't say shit. But for the person who said that they couldn't hear, they not privy to the information that you dropping in the chat that, you know, we off business here. But I'm back, so I saw that, so I thought I'd mic back up. Yeah, you can't hear me on purpose. Because I'm not going to let you not hear me for that long and stay up. That's why I try to tell people it's worth it getting that HAPS account just to get into the HAPS chat room. You can really be a part of the conversation, but, you know, y'all don't be listening, so. And if you're not on the YouTube space, then you're not seeing it. If you're on the Twitter space, that's a whole different situation. But I try to tell people. Because we're going to start sharing the lives as they're up. The YouTube link, putting that in different spaces. The Twitter link can be shared while it's live. We need that going on, too. But, you know, I get it. I get why y'all do what y'all do. Some of y'all be at work and y'all can't do a lot of that stuff, and I get it. But if you can't hear me, it's probably because I've got my mic muted. Apps doesn't work good on my iPad. Okay, I get it. I get it. They've changed some things around and we've lost some capabilities. Instead of them getting the format right for Droid and iOS systems, they decided to put some motherfucking Lil Nas X hearts out. Still don't know whose fucking idea that was. It was dumb, it was idiotic, and I don't like it. They probably don't care whether I don't like it or not. Take my, how many subscribers did it say we had free? I don't know, I forgot. But I could take them somewhere else, I guess. They like, fuck you. You take all your people and leave. What's that? So yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now. I get that it don't work the way it used to work because they done changed shit around in here. They didn't really fuck up the church's money because the church wasn't asking for no money. The new updates, yes, they did. Sorry about that, y'all. I was a little extended. I had to make a phone call there. But yeah, through that interview process, hopefully that interview process would be a situation where you could get through by answering the questions. And you have to ask questions in an interview process. Don't just sit there and let them fire away at you. That's why you have to have knowledge about the company that you're going to work for. Ask them shit about their company. They're asking you all the personal questions. Ask them personal questions. And if you get somebody that's actually connected to the business, like an owner's son, maybe the owner, ask them questions that you would ask an owner of a company. Don't ask them no dumb shit like, what kind of house you got? You got a Bentley? Don't ask them no dumb shit like that. Ask them some real shit. What made them start a company like this? You know, ask them stuff like that. You know, one thing that I do know, motherfuckers that have a lot of money like that, they always like to talk about how they got a lot of money like that. So ask the motherfucker, you know, about his company. And they like that. They like that shit. You're showing interest in their company. And you never know. You come in with that type of interview. Then the next person that comes in and doesn't ask them anything about the company, now you've got the one up on them. So don't sit there like a bump on a log and don't ask no questions. I know job interviews and things like that scare people because you're up against people that look like they have a little power. But you got to understand, a person that's interviewing you, they had to go through the same shit you did. They had to sit in that same chair you do. They ain't no better than you. Only difference between you and them is they got the gig right now. You trying to get the gig. But don't be sitting up there scared and shit, freezing, acting uninterested, like you got somewhere else to go. If you ain't got a job, you absolutely have no fucking else to go. Period. Don't get caught looking at your watch or your phone. You ain't got nowhere else to go. But if you show them motherfuckers that you got somewhere else to go, oh, they gon', I'm gonna just take her shit right off, just mark it right here. They gonna see that you're not interested in that job and whatever is waiting for you on the other side of that phone or that watch, that's where you're going. So that's some dumb shit right there what she just did. She just dropped 7 for $20. It's not my job to educate you. See, I would have did it if he wasn't in her ear like that, you know. And he's probably thinking to himself, you saved 20, yeah, okay, you got it. You just lost. I'm not going to go over that anymore. That was dumb. That was dumb. Huh?
You only going to spend what you want to spend.
Yeah, I guess. But he'll smoke that out and he'll be back at us in 2 days.
Why you get your fucking going on over there?
Well, man.
Let me see you eating dust.
All right, man. I had to get some of the chicken. All right, man. The chicken is right. So, the interview is very important. How it's handled, your whole presence at that space. Some places are really, really nice that you go to. Some places are not very comfortable. They don't give you a place to sit before the interview. This, that, and the other. You got to make the best of all that. Once you get into the interview, that's where it's your time to shine. And people should be able to interview really well nowadays with all the capabilities of camera phones and all kinds of shit. You can damn near record yourself. You can go through a mock interview online and shit with businesses. Have your friends record you and do different shit, ask you questions. They'll tell you to interview questions on some of these businesses, what they're going to ask. Be prepared. But if you didn't listen to none of the shit that I said it before to get you to the point of the interview, you ain't gonna listen to about the shit about the interview, so it don't even matter. And you won't even relay that to people. Because I know a lot of young people are sending their kids out for jobs and stuff like that. I don't get it. When I say young people, younger, like maybe younger than my age, and they got teenagers. They let their teenagers go to job interviews with hoodies on and sweatpants. You're setting your fucking kid up to come back home without a job. If they look like they're going to work out, they better be going to Planet Fitness for a job interview. That's all it is. We got here. So you should not put yourself in a position to where they can nullify you before you even open your mouth. If you show up looking like you're about to go work out, yeah, it's over. Job interview's done before you even sit down. Period. No, that's what it is. Have at least 4 questions ready to fire, and they're absolutely. You have to have interest enough for them to say, okay, this is a little bit different. Because everybody's not going to have those questions. I'm trying to tell you, everybody's not going to do that. You better be refreshing. When I'm talking to you right now, I'm talking to you as a freedman. I'm talking to you so you'll talk to freedmen. Because I can't talk to as a white man. White man can go to job fucked up looking and still get the job before you will, and you can be suited and booted. No resume. Come in and fill out an app and still get the motherfucking job. Okay? You better look at 2 people on the side of the highway. One's black, one's white. You can shave them down, bathe them, give them suits to put on. If one's black, one's white, I guarantee you the white man gets a job within 3 days. The black man's still going through the fucking background check process in 3 days. It's different for us. But some of y'all think it's different for them, not you. If you look like them, it's different for you too. I'm not talking about black immigrants. I'm not talking about people of color. I'm not talking about minorities. I'm talking about freedmen. I'm talking about black Americans. We got deep into talking about that last night. Where'd that stream go, Free? Did he take that stream down? We got pretty deep talking about some shit last night. I ain't seen that stream today. Maybe it's up. I don't know. Whew, Sterling. Not Sterling Heights. But yeah, I want to look at that stream and shit. You know, I got in stream last night. We talked a little bit about racism. And the brother kind of said like it was some self-inflicting shit. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. So you saying that black folks have fucked themselves up for the last 402 years? Nobody else has any doing in this? But it turns out just kind of the way he played on the word. I got it. It's all good. He didn't mean it in a menacing way, which is good. Peace to Pastor Ed and Pastor Rick. Peacemaker Tony. I was like calling Tony the peacemaker. Tony better understand he can't always make peace in this bitch. Sometimes it's just meant to be fucked up and work itself out. Tony be coming in here with that Captain Save-A-Creator mentality. You can't save everybody, Tom. I know he's working right now. Or he might be in here. He be in here sometimes, he don't say nothing. That's how Haps be working. I need to get a ring camera on my Haps so I can see y'all motherfuckers when you come up and you don't say nothing. But it's all good. So, I think I pretty much did what I could do. I mean, let me do a follow-up though. So you go through the interview and say the interview went well. You asked the questions. They asked the questions. You answered the questions. They answered the questions. Things look good. Or things might not look as good as you want them to be. You still follow up. I know back in the day, they used to tell you to send some shit, like send a thank you letter. You can do that through email now. I'm old school. I still like to call. Well, not really, because I don't call nobody. But anyway, you know what I mean. To follow up, you got to follow up. And you follow up with the same or more energy than you had in the interview. Now, once again, if you interviewed like this, you're probably not going to call or follow up. But if you do interview like this and you call and follow up, this can't be the thing. You better call in and totally make them forget that that was you in the interview. I'm just trying to tell you, they don't like that shit. People sitting back, I've already heard it from like 100 people in my life. The worst thing you can do is sit back in a chair in an interview. Tell you from a motherfucker who was so fat, he couldn't really sit back in a fucking chair. They always gave me that chair with them arms on the side. When I was real big and big, I mean, I'm still real big. When I was big, and I couldn't get in them goddamn chairs, I had to sit up. You had to sit right at the edge. You had to sit right before the arms hit. Because once you sat in there with the arms hit, you were like a fucking wine cork. You sat in that bitch. And then you had to put the arms down and stand up with the chair. Or if you stood up, that motherfucking chair would stand up. And that's a bad feeling for you to stand up and you walking around with the chair stuck to you. But it is what it is. You got to take the good with the bad. But I appreciate everybody being around here today. And all the kids that came into the cast, I appreciate you too.
Now do yourself a fucking favor and get the fuck out of my store. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck off the press.
Just saying.
Hey kid, get the fuck out of here. Right now.
It could be given to a child the way you give it to a child. But I'm not going to give it to a child because it's not a child-friendly network. You can learn, but you can't learn at that age. You can't learn at that age. So, following up shows your engines as most employers like that and your chance of securing. Yeah. I'm just telling you what I know, Free. I don't know everything, but I know what I know, and I know what's worked for me. I know what's worked, and it also keeps the anxiety down. Don't just sit there and wait for them to call you back. You call them back. You call them back. And you know another little trick? Call before the person that interviewed you comes in. You can always find this out. Things went well, you shake the hand of the person. They're going to tell you, we got to check with some things, this, that, and the other and stuff. Okay, I'd like to check back with you in a couple of days. What time are you normally in? Oh, I normally get here about 10. Okay. When you call to follow up, call at 9:30. Call at 9:30. They say they get there at 10. They probably get there about 10:15, 10:20. Then a whole bunch of people want to talk to them when they get there. So call about 9:30. Leave a voicemail. You'll be one of the last people to leave a voicemail before they get there. Last voicemail, first heard. Follow up with them right then. Now you're on their mind. Then, if they don't hit you back after they get all their voicemails, and they don't hit you back, call them back after lunch. 2 calls. Just trying to tell you, man. Shit works. It works. How to be smarter than your employer. No, just hit it. Just hit it again. Got a Sterling Heights over in the city. Ma'am. Yeah, it's still going to be too early for old girl. Yeah, because if you go west and you still go east, it still ain't going to be nothing but 1:30. Right. As long as you get there before 3, that's when she gets off. I don't want her to walk out with the pastor. Right. So y'all be good. I think we've had a decent conversation here. I'm just trying to help people that don't have the answers that they need, because they're not going to get them. You're not going to get your answers from, I'm in Michigan. Michigan Works. Michigan Works is the place where people go to look for jobs. That's one of the worst fucking places to go if you need a job. Those people in there are some of the most underwhelming motherfuckers ever. And I haven't been in there in years. I had to go in there out of necessity. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Because they have a little resource center, you know, and I needed to print some shit up and this, that, and the other. I was driving a cab or something at the time. It was the easiest place to go. And I knew how to work the computers and all that shit. But they're in there trying to help people get jobs. And you got to have a fucking degree to get into their system. And if they're just trying to go get a fucking job down in Phoenicia, I don't know why they just don't do it old school. Have everybody fucking line up, come in, this, and this. Okay, he can do this. No. Why do all that fucking computer shit? Have them go right to the fucking plant, get the job. Why go to Michigan Works, where Michigan don't works? So, I don't know exactly when I'll get back on here, but I'll get back on here. Finishing up, tidying up what I got to do. I'm going to eat some chicken first. I'm hungry. That chicken came, probably about 17 hours late, but still about to get broke up. I think he got some sauce, too. Gus has got a little bite to it. It's got a little bite. I like that. It's not hot. It's got a bite to it. But it's black owned, Friedman owned. Support these businesses. People that want to go into business. Sister Lisa, you get with me. Let's talk about some different things. I say, I don't know everything, but if you got a dream, you got an idea, whatever I can do to help you put that shit together, anybody trying to facilitate their own dream, I'm always going to fuck with. That's just me. I'm going to fuck with you if you're trying to facilitate your own dream. Yep. We facilitate other people's dreams every day. When we go out to try to do our own thing, oh, Lou, Dad, you got a good job. What you want to start a business for? You got a good job. You got a good time in there. Yeah, but you'll never be the boss. Do that shit. Y'all be good out here. We'll talk sooner than you think. Oh. Just didn't understand it last night. Well, I'll talk about that later. And once again, peace and love to everybody except the kids.
Now do yourself a fucking favor and get the fuck out of my store. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck off the press.
We love you, but you ain't welcome in the half space. See you next time, Sonia Voss. All right, freak.